Yesterday, Leader Thune filed cloture on a number of nominations, one of whom is Brian Nesvik. Brian is a nominee to be the director of the United States Fish and Wildlife Service. The people of Wyoming know Brian very well, and they know him as a fierce advocate for Wyoming. He is the definition of qualified, and he is one of the very best of Wyoming. He has been the director of the Wyoming Game and Fish Department since 2019. Prior to that, he served in the Wyoming Army National Guard since 1986, Brigadier General, Bronze Star recipient. As the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Director, Brian's going to play a critical role in conserving our natural resources. He's going to take the reins at a time when politics, not science, have too often driven decisions by the agency. I look forward to working with Brian to restore science to conservation policy. Brian isn't just the man for the job. I tell you, I really like and admire him. I met him overseas when he was commanding our troops. I think it was in Kuwait in 2013, respected by the troops and then respected as Wyoming's Game and Fish Director. So I look forward to his confirmation. Congratulations to Brian. You know, I had the honor of introducing him at his confirmation hearing in March. The committee approved his nomination, and that was 112 days ago, which is the issue of nominations in general, Mr. President. People of Wyoming ask me on weekends, why hasn't Brian been confirmed yet? He had his hearing, we saw it on television. It was passed by the committee. That was almost 4 months ago. Why isn't he in the job today? Well, let me tell you why. It's because really unprecedented Democrat obstruction. For 7 months, Senator Schumer and his band of Democrat obstructionists have thrown the kitchen sink at President Trump's nominees. That's why, right at this moment, 161 highly qualified nominees like Brian have not yet come to the Senate floor for a vote. I'm talking about nominees who have had hearings, had their paperwork done, had FBI background checks, and have been approved by a positive vote of a committee of the United States Senate. Many of these received Democrat support in the committee. Each and every one of them is now stuck in what I consider Senate procedural purgatory. They've been stalled, they've been stonewalled, and systematically delayed by Senate Democrats. This isn't advise and consent. No, this is obstruct and delay. If President Trump nominates you, they're against you. That's the new litmus test. Nominated by Trump, not good enough for the Democrats. Some people call it Trump derangement syndrome. It has consumed the Senate Democrat caucus. Historically, the Senate has found ways to work together to fill important positions in our government and do it in a timely manner. During President Trump's first term, by the time Congress recessed for the August break, the Senate had confirmed 133 nominees. 79 of them were confirmed by voice vote. During President Biden's term, 150 nominees were confirmed by the time the Senate departed for the August recess. 76 of them were confirmed by voice vote. Here we are, President Trump's second term. Zero, absolutely zero nominees have been confirmed by voice vote. That's totally unprecedented. President Trump is the only president in modern history to not have a single nominee confirmed by voice vote. Obstructionist Democrats are turning the Senate into the world's slowest human resources department. It's by design. They have filibustered every single Trump nominee following the confirmation of Marco Rubio to be Secretary of State on day one of the administration. Democrats are doing this regardless of the qualifications of these highly qualified individuals. They do it regardless of bipartisan support in the committees. They do it regardless of precedent and regardless of urgency. Democrats filibustered the chief of protocol at the State Department. They filibustered the assistant administrator at the Environmental Protection Agency. They filibustered the assistant secretary for communications and information at the Department of Commerce. They filibustered the Secretary of Industry, the Undersecretary for Industry and Security at the Department of Commerce. They filibustered the Undersecretary for Research and Engineering at the Department of Defense. They filibustered the Undersecretary for Memorial Affairs at the Department of Veterans Affairs. They even filibustered the General Counsel for the Department of Agriculture. All qualified, all delayed, simply because President Trump has nominated them. Even positions that have never been subject to a roll call vote in the United States Senate have not been spared. And when nominees finally get a vote on the Senate floor, many have been confirmed with bipartisan support. A president deserves to have his team in place. President Trump deserves to have his team in place. And America deserves to have leaders on the job. Democrats have set a sad new standard for obstructing confirmations. Republicans will not stand back while Democrats weaponize the Senate rules, sabotage the process, and paralyze the executive branch. Republicans will do what needs to be done to get President Trump's team in place. Thank you, Mr. President.